पाटील सर नमस्कार. पाटील सर आवाज येतोय माझा?
हॅलो.
हा सर आवाज येतोय का माझा? हॅलो. गुड मॉर्निंग सर. गुड मॉर्निंग सर. गुड मॉर्निंग. पाटील सर तुमचा आवाज येत नाहीये.
हॅलो.
हा सर. हॅलो.
हा
हा आता येतोय आवाज. तर अबाउट 73 पार्टिसिपेंट जॉईन झालेत सर झूमला. मे बी युट्यूबला पण काही असतील. कार्यक्रम चालू करूया.
हो हो.
भागवत सर सुरू करूया.
हो हो नमस्कार सर. गुड मॉर्निंग.
नमस्कार नमस्कार सर. So warm welcome and good morning one and all. It is a moment to extreme pleasure to welcome the guest who is present here to address this webinar. On the behalf of Sri Panduranga Pratishthan Pandharpur Karmayogi Engineering College, I offer my warm welcome and regards to all the dignitaries and the participants joining us. I convey my regards to the chairman of this function, Mr. Rohan Paricharak, Trustee Sri Panduranga Pratishthan Pandharpur, for gracing the chair. Thank you very much, sir. I also heartily welcomes to today's eminent speaker and chief guest, Mr. Prasad Bhagwat, sir, presently working as a head industry institute interaction and placement at Sri Santakrupa Institute of Engineering and Technology, Gogaon. I cordially welcomes Dr. S.P. Patil, sir, Principal Karmayogi Engineering College, for their kind support and motivation. I welcomes to heads of various department of my college, Mr. A.T. Babar, sir, HOD Civil Department, Mr. S.M. Kulkarni, sir, HOD CSC Department, Mr. D.B. Shupuje, sir, HOD ANTC and Training and Placement Officer, Mr. R.J. Panchal, HOD Mechanical, Mr. N.G. Tiwari, HOD General Science Department. On this occasion, I also welcomes coordinator of this webinar and IT head, Mr. V Bhosale, sir, all my colleagues and all my students, those who are attending this program on Zoom Cloud meeting as well as YouTube streaming. I virtually felicitate today's speaker, Mr. Prasad Bhagwat, sir, and he accepts our invitation, and within a short period he joined this webinar. So thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
So on this occasion, I also it's my pleasure to introduce today's eminent speaker. Mr. Prasad Bhagwat is a graduate in pharmacy and a master in marketing management. Presently, he is gracing the chair of Head Industry Institute Interaction and Placement at Sri Santakrupa Institute of Engineering and Technology, Bhogao. Sir has a experience in various areas like 16 years experience in teaching and skill development, 15-year experience in handling training and placement for engineering, pharmacy and management students, industrial experience more than 2 years, successfully launched and promoted the products of Sandoz India Limited, conducted lectures and training sessions for more than 42 organizations. Sir had performed active role in designing the curriculum of a diploma in industrial drug science of Maharashtra State Board of Technical Education, Mumbai, handled the responsibilities at various positions and established a good network with the industry officials. Sir has presented papers at international conference and national seminars and also attended many faculty development programs, training programs, seminars, and workshops. The speaker will focus on different topics related to campus placement and interview techniques. Thank you for accepting our invitations and coming over this webinar within a short notice.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I wish this webinar enlightens us all and provides us the approaches to deal with the problems of tomorrow. With this short introduction, I again welcomes Mr. Prasad Bhagwat, sir. Thank you very much. And now I request Dr. S.P. Patil, sir, Principal of Karmayogi Engineering College, Shelve-Pandharpur, to introduce our college and objectives of today's webinar. Over to Patil, sir, please.
Thank you, sir. It's a great pleasure to welcome Professor Prasad Bhagwat, who is my friend. And today he will be delivering his lecture on Campus to Connect for my students. The coordinators of this webinar and Vice Principal of our institute, Professor L Mudegaonkar and Professor V Bhosale. All the heads of departments, teaching faculty, and students, participants for this session. Bhagwat sir is basically from this area, like Mangalveda, and he is more interested to train or guide the students in this particular area. We were in touch with him since last 1 year, 1.5 years. But due to this pandemic and other unavoidable situations, we could not succeed in arranging his sessions physically on our college. But still, today we arranged his lecture in online mode so that all my students who are participating in this workshop, they will be benefited. And once this pandemic is over, we may invite him physically on the institute so that more interaction with the students can be done. Our institute, which started in 2009, having 4 disciplines with 60 intake each. We are accredited by NAC Bangalore with B double plus grade. Now we are preparing for NB accreditation. We have very good facilities and we are working under the leadership of Honorable Prashant Paricharak, who is member of Legislative Council, Maharashtra State. As far as training and placement concerned, we are doing well, but due to this pandemic, there is not a considerable progress as far as last year and this year is concerned. But still we thought that such types of webinars or seminars will help students to prepare for facing the interviews in the companies. So with this, I once again welcome Prasad sir, and I wish all the success to this webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, Patil sir. Now I request Prasad sir to address the students. Over to Prasad
Thank
sir.
you. Thank
please.
you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Before I start my presentation, first of all, I'm very much thankful to all the officials of Karmayogi Engineering College. My special thanks to Dr. Patil sir, Vice Principal of this institute, Dr. Mudegaonkar sir, and of course, my dear students. I'm really, really grateful to you for giving me this wonderful opportunity to interact with you. The thing is that as you can understand the today's situation, we all are going through in a very different situation, and probably you can understand that you can just look at the situation which was around 1.5 year back in the last March, and if you compare the today's situation, you can see the contribution of our scientists, Indian scientists. They have developed the vaccines. So students, please keep in mind that those who can perform well, those who can done well in their regular studies and in their regular work, definitely good prospects are 100% good prospects are there. So once again, I'm very much thankful to all the officials of Karmayogi Engineering College, Principal Dr. Patil sir, Vice Principal Dr. Mudegaonkar sir, all the senior faculties of this institute, and my dear students. Before I go ahead my further presentation, as you can see here, the topic of my presentation is a successful interview and how we can connect to the how we can enter into a corporate successfully. Before I go ahead for my further presentation, first of all, I am very much thankful to all my teachers and my parents also. My special thanks to my teachers, because students, you will be agreed to know that whatever today I have achieved in my life, it is only because of my teachers and my parents. So my thanks to my parents, my teachers, and all my well wishers also, because the thing is that we cannot develop alone. We need the blessings from everyone. So my thanks to my parents and my teachers also. Before we go ahead for the further presentation, I'm really sorry to say that because here in Pune the climate is very cool because of yesterday's storm, and there is some heavy raining. That's why I'm using this jacket. In fact, sorry for that. So now we'll come to our topic directly. We'll come to our topic. As you can see here, then this is one of the picture here I have given you. Out of these 5 people, only one of them has been selected. Now the question will be in our mind is that why this person has been selected, and what is the magic behind it? Because as you can understand that for a single vacancy, for a single opportunity nowadays, you can see that you will find that at least 10 candidates are waiting outside the cabin. तुम्ही जर या चित्रात बघितलं तर तुमच्या असं लक्षात येईल की या 5 माणसांपैकी या 5 मुलांपैकी एकाच जणाचं सिलेक्शन का झालेलं आहे. So we'll look at the different reason that why he has been selected, and why others has been rejected. We'll go step by step. As you know that students, being as a students of this engineering, professional engineering stream, as you know that engineering industry is a field of innovation and it is well known for appreciating the real talent. Students, you can see many examples in life. For those who have started their career as a management trainee or as a graduate trainee engineer, they have started their career initially. But later on, at the time of retirement, they retired as a managing director of the company or as a factory manager of the company. And it is also interesting to note that some of them, they have started their own manufacturing units also. But students, in all these cases, one thing is very common, that engineering industry is a field of innovation. And nowadays you can understand the importance of the word innovation. You go anywhere and you can take an example of any object or any activity where you can say that innovations are continuously being taking places. So engineering industry is one of the industry, and if you look at the contribution of engineering industry into our economy is also very good. But the main part of this industry is that this industry is well known for appreciating the real talent. That's why I said that those who have started their career even as a just as a graduate trainee engineer, and after some years of experience, you may get promotions, and after promotions, you may end up your career with as a managing director or as a factory manager of the organization. And some of you may get a motivations to start your own manufacturing units also. So this is the industry which is well known for appreciating the real talent. The second point which comes in our mind is that why these organizations are there. आता तुमच्या मनामध्ये एक प्रश्न असा पडला असेल की या सगळ्या ऑर्गनायझेशन्स कशा करतायत. ऑफकोर्स these organizations are there to progress and to expand. You can take an example of Tata organization. Look at the history of Tata organization when they have started. And today, if you look at the strength of the Tata organizations, why I'm giving an example of Tata organization is that because not only Tata organizations, but you can take an example of other organizations also, where you can see that these all organizations, they have their organizational objectives. Now, these organizational objectives are to progress and expansion. So this word progress is important. So students, whenever you go and appear for these interviews, ज्यावेळेस तुम्ही इंटरव्ह्यूज ना जाल, कुठल्याही इंटरव्ह्यूज ना जाल, त्यावेळेस एक लक्षात ठेवा की these interview officials are very smart, and within just 5 minutes they can understand your motive or what you have decided in your life. So on one side, industry is trying to progress and expand. On the other side, our nature, our attitude has to be a progressive attitude. So those people, those interview officials are very smart, and within 5 minutes only, they will within 5 minutes only they will judge your attitude, and they will try to see that whether your attitude or whether your nature is a progressive attitude or a progressive nature. So our first objective is that in life, it doesn't matter which field you have chosen, whether you might be in a production, you might be in a quality control, you might be in a sales and marketing, you might be in a research and development, but our attitude throughout our in life has to be a progressive attitude. Apart from that, students, we we have to decide our goals also. There are two goals, students. One is a short-term goal and other is a long-term goal. आता आपले शॉर्ट टर्म गोल काय असू शकतील, तर शॉर्ट टर्म गोल माइट बी टू सिक्युअर अ गुड मार्क्स इन युअर एक्झामिनेशन, or to complete a internship with the organization, or your short term goal might be to secure a good marks in the university examination also. But student, we have to decide our long term goals also. In long term goals, I can understand that some of you might have a what I can say, desire to start your own manufacturing units also in life. Some of you might have decided to end up your career as a factory manager of the organization, or as a managing director of the organization. Some of you might have decided to be head of the production, entire production department. Some of you might be interested in the sales and marketing also. So students, we have to decide our short-term goals and long-term goals. Now here we have to focus on long-term goals. Why we have to focus on a long-term goal is that, students, please note that once you get selected for any organization, these organizations, they invest their time, money and energy. So students, please note that any experience of which is of below 1 year will not be counted anywhere at all. So once you join the organization, these experts have to invest their time, they have to invest their money and they have to invest their energy. Why? Because they wants to train you. And once you get trained, then they expect the output from your side. But we have seen some examples that initially students join some organizations and within 5-6 months again they leave that organization. So it is very really unfortunate that if you leave that place within a year. Yes, in some genuine cases we can understand that if certain difficulties, genuine difficulties are there, you can leave that job. But the thing is that you cannot leave that organization within first 6 months or within 1 year, because these people, they are investing their time, money and energy to train you. आणखीन एक महत्वाची क्वालिटी काय असणार आहे at a very initial stage is that you should have an ability to lead the team with passion. स्टुडंट्स, मी पर्पजफुली इथं पॅशन हा वर्ड वापरलेला आहे. पॅशन का वर्ड वापरलेला आहे माहिती, की वन्स यू जॉईन द ऑर्गनायझेशन, तुमच्यामध्ये ती पॅशन दिसली पाहिजे टू लीड, टू प्रोग्रेस, टू गो अहेड, टू एक्सपॅन्ड. म्हणून मी पहिल्यांदाच इथं तुम्हाला ऑर्गनायझेशनल ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह मध्ये काय सांगितलं, की for any organization, whether it is an engineering industry, pharma industry, or you can take the example of any industry, their main objective is to earn the profit and to progress and expand. So my objective is also that once I join the organization, after few months, organization may give you some responsibility where you need to lead the team. तुम्ही एक लक्षात घ्या, तुम्ही कुठली ऑर्गनायझेशन जॉईन केल्यानंतर तुम्हाला काही दिवसानंतर our officials will ask you to lead a team. पण ती टीम लीड करताना आपल्यामध्ये ती पॅशन असली पाहिजे. And you should set an example for the others. See, for example, if you join any organization today and if your authorities are satisfied with your performance and with your passion, with your desire, with your innovative concepts, then definitely they can look at you that you can set an example for the others. कारण काय माहिती का, ज्यावेळेस कंपनीज एकदा कॅम्पसला आपल्याकडे येतात, त्याच्यानंतर आपण ऑर्गनायझेशन कंपनीमध्ये जॉईन होतो आणि या सगळ्या आपल्या ज्या सिनियर अथॉरिटीज असतात इंडस्ट्रीज मधल्या, ते त्यांचा टाइम, मनी आणि एनर्जी आपल्या करता देतात आपल्याला ट्रेन करण्याकरता. पण हे सगळं करत असताना आपल्यामध्ये पॅशन असणं गरजेची आहे. आणि ज्यावेळेस पुढची बॅच आपल्याकडं येईल, जॉईन होईल, that time industry will look at you as an example who can show it to the others. त्यामुळं लक्षात ठेवा, we must have an ability to lead the team with passion. So this passion word is very important for all of us. Another part is that students, do you think that can we compromise on self-discipline? No, not at all. We cannot compromise on self-discipline. You can take the example of any leaders from any different field. You have one common quality you will find in all these officials is that they have never compromised on the self-discipline. So students, if you look at this slide, 2-3 important points are there. One is that in industry, they always appreciate the talent. Why industry is there? Industry is there to progress and expand and to earn the profit also. Industry is also there to train you. They invest their time, money and energy to train you. And more than that, the people who have joined the industry, they always expect that these people should lead the team, and they should lead the team with passion and set an example for the others. And they also wants to see that you should set an example for the others, and we cannot compromise on the self discipline. Now, what another quality is required at a very beginning stage? One is that ability to communicate effectively. Students, I am using here word effectively. Why I am using word effectively is that I can understand that many of you we are not studied from a convent medium or from English medium. But the thing is that nowadays many facilities are available through which we can develop our English language. For example, we can read the English newspapers also. We can see the English news also. You can form a group, and within a group also you can interact with each other in a English also. So you should have an ability to communicate effectively. It doesn't mean that you should speak fluently in English. Yes, I can understand that if you are good enough to speak fluently in English, it's well and good. But if not, doesn't matter. At least you should communicate to the others effectively. What I mean to say effectively is that whatever you are going to present to your higher authorities, or whatever you are going to present your subordinates also, through a oral communication or through a written communication, the next person should understand the content of the communication. So that is the best definition of communication. If somebody asks you define communication or what is the main purpose of communication, the main purpose of this communication is that whatever you are going to present, it might be oral communication or it might be a written communication. The next person to whom you are going to communicate, that person should understand it. So my request to all the students is that please try to develop your communication skills. So apart from your academic knowledge, academic technical knowledge, if you are good enough in communicating with your subordinates or with your higher authorities in an effective way, definitely your chances of getting selected are more. And apart from that, you will also get better promotion prospects in your life also. Strong computer skills. Students those days have gone. When we graduated long back, around 25, 30 years back, that time computer was not that much developed. But now, as you can understand, it doesn't matter if from which stream or from which branch you are. You might be from a civil engineering, you might be from uh, mechanical engineering or from any other engineering background. Apart from your regular academic content or academic technical knowledge, you must develop your strong computer skills also. So any person who has got better communication skills, or the person who has got good technical knowledge, and the person who has got good computer skills also, definitely your chances of getting selected or your chances of getting promoted are very very higher. त्यामुळे स्टुडंट्स माझी तुम्हाला एक रिक्वेस्ट आहे, तुम्ही तुमचं अकॅडमिक कंटेंट आणि टेक्निकल नॉलेज पण डेव्हलप करा. ऍट द सेम टाइम यू कॅन डेव्हलप युअर इंग्लिश लँग्वेज, इंग्लिश कम्युनिकेशन ऑल्सो, आणि तुम्ही तुमचे कॉम्प्युटर स्किल्स पण चांगले वाढवा. Apart from that, students, what is nowadays needed is that general awareness on scientific technologies or new manufacturing technologies coming into the industry. We must have an awareness of all these areas. So how we can improve it? One is that we can make the best use of our library, and I'm sure that in library many journals and magazines are available. You can read those magazines and journals. You can also interact with your senior professors, faculty members, and talk with them, discuss with them on new technologies which are being practiced or which are being which could come into the practice. So try to develop your general awareness also, apart from your technical knowledge or apart from your computer skills. You will be surprised to know on this 3H attitude. Now, what is this 3H attitude, students? One is that this 3H means one is hand, other is head, and third one is very interesting. Third one is a heart. If there is a combination of hand, head, and heart, definitely your products or the output of your products will be much better. लक्षात ठेवा स्टुडंट्स, काय 3H ॲटिट्यूड आपलं असणं फार गरजेचं आहे. एक म्हणजे देअर हॅज टू बी अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ हँड, head, and heart. If there is a combination, synergistic combination of these three, definitely your performance or your output will be much, much better than other students. So students, not only in your job, uh, as I know that in few days or in your career, you will be joining some organization, not only in the industry, but you can use this practice in your routine daily schedule also. If there is a combination of hand, head, and heart while studying, you can see that your performance in terms of marks or in terms of seminar also will be much, much better than others. So what is needed, students? One is a learning attitude, because we learn from our daily experiences every day. So every day is a learning experience for all of us, so we must have a learning attitude. So students, before I go ahead for my further slide, first look at this once again. One is that we need to progress. Second is that we cannot leave the organization within a span of 1 year. Third thing is that there should not be any compromise on the self-discipline. We should have an ability to communicate the effectively. At the same time, we should develop our computer skills. Then we should read newspapers, magazines, journals, and through which we can develop our general awareness. And definitely throughout your life, you will understand this 3H attitude, that is learning attitude, hand, head, and heart. As you can see here, students, here I have given a picture of an ocean. Think big, aim, and aim high to succeed. So students, this entire industry, this corporate world is like an ocean. I have seen many examples in life. Those who have joined their career into the production, later on they ended their career with the sales and marketing. Some of the experts I have seen in life that they have joined the production, later on they ended their career with as a HR head of the organizations also. So there are many departments. So this entire industry, this entire corporate world is like an ocean, and there are abundant opportunities are there. आपण नेहमी म्हणतो की हल्ली अपॉर्च्युनिटीज खूप कमी आहेत, पण स्टुडंट्स मी असं बिलकुल म्हणणार नाही. अपॉर्च्युनिटीज आर ऑलवेज देअर. अपॉर्च्युनिटीज आर ऑलवेज देअर. But for whom these opportunities will go, as I said earlier, these opportunities will go to those persons who has got all these qualities: ability to communicate effectively, good technical knowledge, general awareness, 3H attitude. So we need to have our aims should be very high. If you keep your aims high, definitely your chances of getting selected will be much, much more. Now, what basic preparation is required before we appear for the interview? Students, first we have to understand the various areas in the industry, in the corporate world. One is that manufacturing is there, quality control, quality assurance, technological transfers, R&D, sales and marketing. And students, being as a students of this engineering industry, as you know that there are many departments. Apart from what I mentioned, there are many departments. So, but main common factor is that this engineering industry is a skill-based industry. I am using this word skill. So they will always give preference to those people, to those persons who are skilled one. See, for example, if there is a job into the design, those who are quite aware about the design structures and the languages which are on, the skills which are being used in designing any particular that part or any activity, definitely a preference will goes to those persons who are skilled one. Those days have gone. Students, ते दिवस मागचे गेले की तुम्ही नुसते इंजिनिअरिंग ग्रॅज्युएट्स आहात and now you will get the job. Those days have gone, students, now. So apart from your engineering technical knowledge, at the same time you will have to develop your additional skills. So try to concentrate on your skills also. You need to be job ready and dynamic to choose your career wisely and make the right career move right from the start. Students, as I said in the beginning, मी एक तुम्हाला सांगितलं होतं, लक्षात आलं असेल की if you join any organization and if you leave that organization within a 1 year, I think that causes a very bad impact on our college also, because college, our institute has taken a lot of efforts to bring the companies to the campus, and they have developed that good relationship with the institutes for our students placements. And if you leave that job within a span of 1 year, it may affect on your career also, and it has a very bad impact on the reputation of institutes also. And more than that, students, if initially if you join into a production and later on you might think that no sir, production is a very hectic job, I need to go into the quality control or quality assurance. Some of you then might think that no sir, I will join the teaching profession. Some of you might think that no sir, I will go into the sales and marketing. No, it should not happen to you. Students, we have to decide our career, whether I'm interested in production, whether I'm interested in quality control. You can see there are many departments in the engineering industry, and we have to decide our career right from beginning. So make the right career move right from the start. मला एकच म्हणायचे स्टुडंट की तुम्ही सुरुवातीपासून हे डिसाईड करा की आपल्याला कशामध्ये जायचंय, आणि अकॉर्डिंगली यू कॅन डेव्हलप युअर स्किल्स, आणि त्याच्याप्रमाणे तुम्ही एफर्ट्स घ्यायला सुरुवात करा. सो मेक द राईट करिअर मूव राईट फ्रॉम द स्टार्ट. डोंट लूज युअर टाइम, डोंट लूज द रिसोर्सेस ऑल्सो. आणखीन एक प्रश्न महत्वाचा सगळ्यांच्या समोर असा पडेल की व्हॉट इज मोर इम्पॉर्टंट इन लाईफ, सॅलरी, brand name, or a job role? What is more important? Students, what is your opinion? If I am at your position, what will be my preference? Students, my preference will be only for job role, not for salary or a brand name. Why my preference is towards a job role, students, is that माझा preference job role ला कशा करता असेल? The thing is that through this job role only I am going to learn new concepts. Through this job role only I am going to learn how this entire equipments or the technologies which are being practiced in the industry, how I can learn it. So students, once you learn that technology, once you get an experience of that particular instruments or equipments, definitely your chances of getting selected, a good brand and good salary will be more, and that will be also permanent. So some of you might think that no sir, job role is not important, what is more important is a salary or a brand name. एक लक्षात घ्या, तुम्हाला चांगली सॅलरी दिली आणि सांगितलं तुम्ही एका ठिकाणी असं नुसतं इथं बसून राहा केबिन मध्ये, so what will be our situation? No, we will not be happy at all. So because being as engineering students, we need to be innovative continuously. So what is more important is a sorry. So what is more important in life is a job role. Clear idea about job profile and job description. एक लक्षात घ्या स्टुडंट्स, कॉलेजमध्ये कंपनीज आपल्या कॅम्पसमध्ये येतात, रिक्रुटमेंट करतात, किंवा sometimes even we have to apply to this campus recruitment for the job positions on our own. ज्यावेळेस आपण अप्लाय करतो त्यावेळेस एक लक्षात ठेवा की सगळ्यात महत्वाचं आहे ते जॉब प्रोफाईल आणि जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन रीड करणं. रीड करणं म्हणजे काय, ते प्रोफाईल आणि डिस्क्रिप्शन आपण डिटेल वाचलं पाहिजे. सो वन्स यू रीड इट व्हेरी केअरफुली, you will be able to understand what is the requirement of that particular organization, and accordingly you can prepare your resume. Look at the requirement of that organization in depth and detail, and accordingly you can change change the resume also. Students, this just for example, here I have given these three objectives. If you join in any organization, what is your prime responsibility? Our prime responsibility is to support the manufacturing operations. Second thing is that students, if you join any organization, we'll have to follow the safety practices also, and we'll have to monitor and implement these safety practices also. Apart from that, what is required? We have to achieve the consistent results. Purposefully here I have used the word consistent. आपल्याला नुसते रिझल्ट अचीव्ह करायचे आहेत का? नाही. वी हॅव टू अचीव्ह द कन्सिस्टंट रिझल्ट. सतत आपल्या रिझल्ट्स मध्ये ती कन्सिस्टन्सी असली पाहिजे. बट ऍट द सेम टाइम वी कॅनॉट कॉम्प्रोमाइज ऑन द स्टँडर्ड प्रॅक्टिसेस ऑल्सो which are being governed by that organization or which are being decided by that organization. So these are the three main objectives if you join any organization, that we have to support the manufacturing operations, we have to follow the safety practices, and we have to achieve the consistent results. Why consistent results? Because industry wants to progress, industry wants to expand. Another part is that information about the company. तुम्ही बघितलं असेल ज्यावेळेस आपल्याकडे कॅम्पसला एखादी कंपनी येते त्याच्यामध्ये त्यांनी कंपनी प्रोफाईल दिलेलं असतं और समटाइम्स दे गिव्ह देअर कंपनीज ऑफिशियल वेबसाईट त्यांनी दिलेली असते. Now our job is that how we can find out the information about the company. We have to visit the company's official website where you can see that in the about us column you will find that the establishment of the organization, who are the persons, those who are heading that organization. You can find out their names also, their hierarchies also. You will also come to know that into which business area this company is operating. You can find out their products also. You can find out the different branch locations where this company is having their manufacturing activities. So these are important steps initially. One is that students, we must be job ready. We have to develop our skills. We have to take the decisions right from the beginning. Second thing is that our preference towards the job role, not for salary and brand name. त्याच्यानंतर जे काही जॉब प्रोफाईल, जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन कंपनीने दिलेलं असेल, that we have to read it carefully and accordingly you can prepare your resume. And the last but not the least is that we must know the company details before we appear for the interviews. So we have to visit the company's official website. Once you visit the official website, you can get all these details: company profile, business area, products, and different branch locations where these manufacturing activities are being taking place. Another thing is that once you visit the company's website, you will come to know that what is the management vision and mission of that organization. And accordingly, you can try to map your role with that organization. Students, there are some commonly asked interview questions also. So what are those questions? Generally, they ask you about what do you know about us? तुम्हाला आमच्या कंपनी बद्दल काय माहिती आहे का? किंवा ते असं विचारतील, why do you want this particular job? तुम्हाला हा particular job का हवाय? Why I'm saying is that you need to prepare for these commonly asked interview questions is that there should not be any hurry at the last moment. So we can find out some commonly asked interview questions and we can prepare for that in earlier or in advance. So there will not be any hurry at the time of actual interviews. Students, there will be one common question in all these interviews. Apart from this, they will ask you what are your strengths and weaknesses. My request to all the students is that while presenting your strengths, present your strengths in a very humble manner. Present your strengths in a very humble manner. And while describing your weaknesses, you can tell those weaknesses or you can present those weaknesses where chances of growth is there. See, for example, here I can give an example. If you are good in your communication skills, English language, but on the other hand, if you might not be good in your presentation skills. So on one hand, you are saying that, sir, my communication skills are excellent. But on the other hand, you are saying that my presentation skills are not up to the mark. But the thing is that on one hand, your communication skills are good. Automatically, within a short span or gradually, you can develop your presentation skills also. So students, while presenting your strengths, present your strengths in a very humble manner, and you can describe those weaknesses where chances of growth is there. Don't present those weaknesses where there is a no scope or where there is a no chance for the growth. Please note that you can present those weaknesses or you can tell those weaknesses where chances of growth is there. Another part is that don't hesitate to ask the questions. Many times it has been observed that we are not knowing that interview is a two-way process. Students, actually interview is a two-way process. There might be some set of questions which we can ask to the interviewer. So what type of questions we can ask to the interviewer or to the panelists also? You can ask them detail about the job profile and job description also. Or what will be the most expected questions, or the questions on which these panels will be pleased is that you can ask them about, sir, if I join this organization, what will be my career progress, or what will be my career path? Through this one simple question, or through this one your simple answer, those people will feel that the student's nature is a very progressive nature, and he wants to progress in his life. So try to prepare such questions which we can ask to the interviewer. So please don't be under impression that interview is a one-way process. It's not like that. Actually, interview is a two-way process. कनेक्टिंग युअर स्किल्स विथ द कंपनी नीड्स. तुम्हाला आठवत असेल मी सुरुवातीला म्हणालो तुम्हाला की जॉब प्रोफाईल आणि जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन तुम्ही डिटेल वाचलं पाहिजे. आता त्याच्यात ज्या स्किल्स मागितलेल्या आहेत, द स्किल्स विच आर बिंग आस्क्ड बाय दिस कंपनी, try to connect your skills with the company needs. See, for example, if company is looking for some person, if they are looking for some person who can join their sales and marketing department, and luckily if you are good in your communication skills and presentation skills, definitely your chances of getting selected are higher or more. So try to connect your skills with the company needs. That is what I mean to say. Prepare to talk about your accomplishments also. स्टुडंट्स काही इंटरव्ह्यू मध्ये आपल्याला प्रश्न असा विचारला जातो की प्लीज डिस्क्राईब युअर सेल्फ, किंवा प्लीज टेल अस अबाउट युअर सेल्फ. आता याच्यामध्ये तुम्ही काय सांगणार? येस, you can describe here we can discuss here about our family background, and apart from that, students, we need to prepare a talk on our specific accomplishments or achievements also. आता अचिव्हमेंट्स किंवा अकम्प्लिशमेंट्स बाबत आपण का बोलायचं आहे? The thing is that through which these panelists will understand that, again, they will understand your nature, they will understand your capabilities in different areas. So याच्यामध्ये तुम्ही त्यांना काय सांगू शकता की फॉर एक्झाम्पल यू कॅन टेल द these experts about your academic achievements. तुम्ही जर चांगले मार्क्स मिळवलेले असतील, चांगले आपल्या if you have achieved some good marks in your regular studies, you can tell them that. Apart from that, you can tell them about your internship, about your project, or what extra that you have achieved through your projects, or what extra knowledge that you have gained through your internship. So all this you can talk with your officials in this particular questions. So try to prepare a talk on your achievements or accomplishments also. You can discuss with them about your team skills also, team management skills also, and you can discuss with them about your sports skills also, through which they will try to understand that whether you have got good team skills. So those who are into final year of their degree or a diploma, degree engineering, my request to all of you is that please prepare a talk on your accomplishments or achievements. याच्या बाबतीत तुम्ही एक ते 2 मिनिटं तरी तुम्हाला इंटरव्ह्यू पॅनलिस्ट बाबत शी बोलता आलं पाहिजे. Authentic information about your biodata. Many times it has been seen that, or it has been observed that we write those information which is absolutely not necessary, or sometimes that information might be unauthentic also. Students, if you join any organization, then these organization may call the institute. They will talk to the principal sir also. Sometimes they will talk to the senior professors also, HODs also, and they will try to identify your nature or your character. Character means what was your performance in throughout your engineering course, what extra achievements that you have achieved throughout your course. So please note that whatever you are going to present in your biodata, that information has to be an authentic information. See, for example, if you have written in your biodata that you were the captain of cricket team or some other sports activities, and if these experts, when they confirm it through with your institutes, our teaching, our institute must be able to tell them that yes, this was the students, and apart from the academic, he was good in his sports skills also. So whatever information that you are going to put in your biodata or CV, that information has to be an authentic information. As far as emerging awareness of new scientific areas and technologies, already I have spoke on this. आता याच्या बाबतीत स्टुडंट्स जी जी मॅन्युफॅक्चरिंग टेक्नॉलॉजी रिसेंटली आता यूज केली जाते इंजिनिअरिंग इंडस्ट्रीमध्ये, त्याच्याबाबत आपल्याला मी अगदी असं म्हणणार नाही की पूर्ण माहिती असणं गरजेचं आहे, बट ॲटलिस्ट वी मस्ट हॅव सम इन्फॉर्मेशन, इनिशियल इन्फॉर्मेशन अबाउट what is the latest manufacturing technology or technique which is being presently practiced in this industry. Another part is very important in our life, students, in our careers, is that we must have a proud of our own profession and the progress that we have achieved in our life. काही लोक म्हणत असतील अरे काय आता इंजिनिअरिंग इंडस्ट्रीमध्ये रिसेशन आलंय, याच्यात रिसेशन आलंय. प्लीज डोंट गो इन टू दोज डिटेल्स. हे डोक्यातून तुम्ही सगळं काढून टाका. Instead of that, my request to all of you is that you are lucky, you are lucky students that you have got an admission to the course like an engineering course where innovation is always practiced. So we must have a proud of our own profession and whatever progress that you have made in your life. Understood? So once you have a proud of your own profession, automatically positive attitude will be developed. Once there is a positive attitude, then you will start believing in your own self capabilities. आपल्या ज्या capabilities आहेत ना, त्या capability वरती तुमचा self belief वाढेल. कशामुळे वाढेल? It is only because of positive attitude. Positive attitude कशामुळे येईल? If you have a proud of your own profession. So students, it's a chain or it's a link. If there is a proud of your own profession, definitely positive attitude will be there. You will start believing in your own self capabilities, and ultimately you will enter into a right frame of mind. If you enter into a right frame of mind, on that day, on that particular day, your results or your output or your chances of getting selected for that particular job will be 100% more as compared to the others. So in this entire presentation, initial part, my request to all the students is that yes, this is what the preparation is required, but apart from that, what is required, what is much more important, needed today these days, is that we must have a proud of our own profession. Then you will enter into a right frame of mind. आलं लक्षात? तुमचं जर right frame of mind असेल, तर definitely your chances of getting selected are more and more. Just for example, students, here I have given you the picture. आज मी असं एक तुम्हाला एक example म्हणून दिलेले. Suppose 8th of the day on which interviews has been fixed. These interviews might be at an institute level or it might be at a corporate level. Now see what will happen on that day particular. First thing is that students, if the interviews are at a metro places like Pune, metro cities at like Pune or Mumbai or any other metro cities, we have to find out the exact location and a landmark where these interviews are going to take place, so that we can reach that place at least 10 to 15 minutes well in advance, so there will not be any hurry at the last moment. So try to find out the exact location with a nearby landmark. So student, these three changes will happen at the time of actual interview or before the interview. One is that you will see or you will observe that there is a slight increase in a body temperature, and more than that, your palms are also sweaty. Your respiration rate has also been increased, and there is a slight increase in the nervous energy. So don't get feared even if you observe these three signals. These three signals are not necessarily a signs of fear, but these are signs of gearing up to perform. So even though there is a body temperature increases, palms are sweaty, respiration rate has been increased, or even though there is a slight change in the nervous energy, no need to fear at all. Now, how we can present ourselves and documents? No need to talk on that we need to use formal dress to appear for an interview. Being as an engineering students, you can understand the importance of formal dress while appearing for the interview, why we should use the formal dress, through which we can gain the trust and we can command the respect of these officials. As far as this formal dress is concerned, my request to all of you is that please try to avoid the new clothes. Generally, we are not comfortable in new clothes on that particular day because we may divert our attention towards new clothes and we may lose our concentration on our performance. So instead of better is that if you try to avoid the new clothes, but please keep in mind that we must use the formal dress to appear for the interview. uh, Pain, these are very simple steps and all the documents in an order. Students, if they announce your name and once you enter into the interview cabin, and if they ask you to write down any structure or to write down any formula or to draw any design, and unfortunately, if you have missed to carry your pen, then the situation is very different. Yes, of course, you can request these officials that will you please give me a pen, but the thing is that it is not accepted practice. So instead of that, you please try to carry your own pen with you, and all the documents right from 10th onwards, you can arrange it in a very logical and in a very sequential manner. Uh, while appearing for the interview, even though if your biodata and resume has been sent by the institute to that company, again at the time of actual interview, you will have to carry a copy of application. You can have your resume also with you, and you can carry the certificates of qualifying exam. No need to carry the original certificates. You can carry the photocopies. Photocopies means Xerox copies of all your achievements and certificates of qualifying exams. Do not present any certificates or a document unless asked for. Sometimes some students have a tendency to present those documents which are being not asked by this panelist or which are absolutely not required or not related with that profiles. So don't show any documents until and unless it has been asked by this panelist. Please keep in mind that. Collect all certificates given for perusal at the interview. So once your interview is over, then you can request these officials that, sir or ma'am, can I collect my all certificates once your interview is over? And what is more important, students, in this entire interview process is that our approach should not be a desperate approach. It should not be a desperate approach. Instead of that, we need to maintain cool, calm, and confident. In our earlier part, what was important? 3H attitude, that is hand, head, and heart. In the second part, what is important is that there should not be a desperate attempt. Instead of that, we should reflect the 3 C's, that is cool, calm, and confident. Now, entry, seating, and exit. Students, as I said earlier, first impression is going to make a big difference in your career, and first impression is the last impression. Once you enter into the interview cabin, immediately those people should feel, that panelists should feel that yes, this is the right students that we were looking for. Students, before entering into the cabin, please turn off or please switch off your phone. And once they announce your name for the interview, please knock the door twice, thrice. You cannot enter directly. Instead of that, you can knock the door twice and thrice. Once you enter into the cabin, then immediately we should greet the interviewers. आता हे आपण इंटरव्ह्यूअर्सना ग्रीट करणार म्हणजे काय करणार? Then you will have to look at your watch, whether it's a morning session, afternoon session, or evening session. Then accordingly you can say that good morning everybody or good afternoon everybody. So immediately we should greet the interviewers. Apart from that, what is more important? Sit down only after you are asked to and say thank you before being seated. एक लक्षात घ्या, आता आपण कशी प्रोसेस फॉलो केली. वन्स युअर नेम इज अनाउन्स्ड, वी हॅव टर्न ऑफ और स्विच्ड ऑफ आवर फोन्स. त्याच्यानंतर आपण डोर 2 ते 3 वेळा नॉक केलंय. नॉक केल्यानंतर आपण केबिन मध्ये एंट्री केली. देन इमिजिएटली वी सेड गुड मॉर्निंग, गुड आफ्टरनून एव्हरीबडी ऍज पर द टाइम. पण पुढचा पार्ट फार महत्वाचा आहे. सिट डाऊन ओनली आफ्टर यू आर आस्क्ड टू अँड से थँक्यू बिफोर बिंग सीटेड. लगेच जाऊन खुर्चीवर बसायचं नाही. इन्स्टेड ऑफ दॅट यू कॅन स्टँड असाइड फॉर फ्यू मिनिट्स और फ्यू सेकंड्स आय कॅन से. Immediately those people will say you, please be seated. But while seating, please note that you should say thank you to the panelist. So all these practices, what it shows? It shows good etiquettes and manners. While sitting for the interview, you should sit straight. सरळ का बसायचे आपण? Why we should sit straight? Because the thing is that if you sit straight, it shows that you are a confident person. Do not keep any paper material on the table. काही लोकांना सवय असते आपल्या ज्या फाईल्स बरोबर नेलेल्या आहेत ना, त्या आपण त्यांच्याच टेबलवरती नेऊन ठेवतो. असं न करता instead of that, you can keep that files with you only. आलं लक्षात? While answering question, look at the interviewer. This is very important. In many regular vivas in our practicals or in our project vivas, I can say that when we ask the questions, sometimes students look at the outside, some students look at the outside, students look at the door, students look at the windows, and then they answer the question. Instead of that, these practices cannot be accepted in the corporate world. Here, once you get a question, then immediately we should look at the eyes of the interviewer. What I am saying is that once they ask you a question, then immediately we should look at the eyes of the interviewer to answer that question. That shows that you are a confident person and you are a studied person and you are very much interested in this profile. So while answering a question, look at the eyes of the interviewer. At the end of interview, get up and move out only after thanking the interview. काय करायचंय? Once एकदा आपला इंटरव्ह्यू झाला असं आपल्या लक्षात आल्यानंतर, then immediately we should say thank you to all the panelists. Replace the chair and other things in the original place when you leave the room. आलं लक्षात? कारण if we have to adjust the chair as the space is concerned, then again once your interview is over, you can replace that chair at the original position. While moving out, जेव्हा बाहेर याल तेव्हा काय करायचंय आपल्याला? While moving out, step back first. मागे यायचंय, वळायचंय आणि then परत चालत यायचंय. While moving out, step back first, then turn and then walk away. This is what the practice that we have to follow. Look at this picture. आता चित्रात बघितल्यानंतर तुमचं असं लक्षात येईल. This is the picture of poor interview technique. Why I am saying is that it's a picture of poor interview technique. If you look at the hands of this person, look at the way by which he has rested his hands on the chair. He is a overconfident attitude. He has got very aggressive attitude. His nature is not at all a polite nature. He is overconfident. And more than that, he is too relaxed. He is too relaxed. Yes, I can understand that in interview, we should not take the tension. We need to maintain that cool, calm, and confident approach. But it doesn't mean that we need to be too relaxed. Specifically, here I have used the word too relaxed. Yes, I can understand that we must be a relaxed person, but it doesn't mean that we cannot be a too relaxed person, and we should not be casual about the interview. If you look at this entire approach of this person or the nature of this person, easily you can come to the conclusion that this person has got a very overconfident attitude and he is very casual about his career. He has not decided to become anything in his life and he is very casual about his career. Now, you can look at this second picture. If you look at this second picture, look at the way by which he has rested his hands and look at the way by which this person has rested his hands. If you look at this person, you will come to know that his hands are in a stable position. He is sitting straight also. Sit straight. We आपण म्हणलंच की नाही? Sit straight. More than that, he is looking at the eyes of the interviewer. That shows that a confident person. So, and because of this, his entire personality appears to be very positive, and he is not at all over confident also. And this entire person looks to be a very stable person. So, students, those who are into early of their engineering career, and those who are into their final year of degree engineering career, I am sure that you will remember this picture throughout your life. One is of a poor interview technique, how this person is approaching towards the interview. It's a very bad practice, is very casual, overconfident about this entire interview process. That's why it's a poor interview technique. But if you look at this picture, he's a smiling, his hands are in stable position, he's a confident. So it's a picture of a good interview technique. So this good interview technique we have to accept and we have to follow, I can say. Now, while answering questions, how we can answer the questions? First is that we have to listen the questions very carefully. If not understood, immediately we can politely request for repeat. Then those persons will repeat the questions. Don't answer the questions with simple yes or no. मी हा प्रश्न मुद्दामून का याच्यावरती why I'm stressing on this is that don't answer the questions with simple yes or no is that there might be some questions where these experts they wants to test your knowledge or they wants to test your thinking process or thought process. In those questions, students, please don't answer with simple yes or no. Instead of that, you can elaborate it, you can explain it in a better manner. Give short answers in unless asked for longer ones. इथे आपण वरती काय म्हणतोय? Don't answer the questions with simple yes or no. But on one hand, we are saying that don't answer the questions with simple yes or no. On the other hand, we are also saying that give short answers unless asked for longer ones. इथे आपण काय म्हणतोय? असे क्वेश्चन्स जर तुम्हाला काही विचारले की ज्याच्यामध्ये they wants to test your thinking process, thought process, or technical knowledge, in that question you can elaborate it in detail. But generally, you should give the answers very shortly. Show confidence but not arrogance. So students, there is a very thin line, and this thin line has to be maintained between confidence and arrogance. At any point of time, those people should not feel that this person is an arrogant person and he doesn't know any etiquettes and manners. Instead of that, they should feel that this person is a confident person. So students, my request to all of you is that this thin line has to be maintained between confidence and arrogance. At any point of time, we should not show any arrogance to this panelist. Be firm when you are sure or starts with statements like I think or as far as I know. स्टुडंट जे प्रश्न आपल्याला विचारले असतील सगळ्यांचीच उत्तर आपल्याला येतील का असं होऊ शकत नाही. देयर माइट बी सम क्वेश्चन्स वेअर वी मे नॉट बी एबल टू आन्सर इट. सी फॉर एक्झाम्पल, if they ask you some questions about what is the present turnover of engineering industry in India, we may not be knowing the exact details or exact data of what is the current turnover of engineering industry in India. In that case, students, you can use these words, sir, I think, or as far as I know, the present turnover of engineering industry in India is more than this lakh crore rupees. So this is how we must learn that how we can use these phrases or words, I think, or as far as I know. So we have to make the practice of these two words. Speak clearly and loudly, which there should not be any compromise on it, so that these panelists can listen it very carefully. Answer immediately without wasting time. Sometimes students, what happens? We look at the windows, we look at the doors, and we lose that what I can say, the professional approach And then in that case, these people will be unhappy and you will lose that opportunity. So whenever you get a questions, immediately you can give the answers to those questions. Answer should not be given in a raised voice even when question comes in a that manner. Sometimes some of these officials have a tendency to ask the question in a raised voice. Even in that case also, our approach has to be a very polite approach, and don't answer the questions in that raised voice. Avoid giving additional information. Sometimes the additional information is very dangerous. So if they ask you, please describe yourself or please tell me about yourself, in that you can explain them about your family background and you can discuss with them on your specific accomplishments or achievements. But don't give any additional information, because additional information, any unnecessary additional information is always dangerous. For compliments, say thank you to the interviewers. See students, if they are going through your CV, जर ते तुमचा बायोडाटा रेझ्युमी बघत असतील आणि जर तुम्ही तुमच्या रेझ्युमी मध्ये मेन्शन केलं असेल की दिस इज द ऑर्गनायझेशन वेअर आय हॅव कम्प्लिटेड माय इंटर्नशिप and I have also got a prize from that or prize or a certificate from that company, and kiwa some of you might have got good marks in the examination. In fact I can say many of you might have got good marks in the examination, आणि जर तुम्ही काही स्पेसिफिकली त्याच्यामध्ये मेन्शन केलं असेल की दिस इज द सब्जेक्ट वेअर आय स्टूड फर्स्ट इन द युनिव्हर्सिटी किंवा आय एम ए टॉपर इन दिस पर्टिक्युलर एरिया सब्जेक्ट, असे जर तुमचे काही कॉम्प्लिमेंट्स असतील, so for these compliments or for these achievements, these panelists will compliment your performance because they are happy with your performance. In that case, if they compliment your performance, we should say thank you to the panelist or thank you to the interviewers. Why? Because they are complimenting our performance. There are some questions where we may not be able to answer, so you can reject some questions, but while saying sorry. If you are not very good enough in answering that question, you can say sorry to the panelist, sir, sorry, will you please give me another questions. Avoid giving repetitive answers, phrases or words, repetitive uses or answer phrases or words. Students, we are not there to test their English language, phrases or words. We are there to get a job. So try to use a very simple language which can be easily understood by all of us. Interactions. What is more important interactions in interaction is that body language. As I said earlier, body language says a lot about you. You should sit straight. You will have to look at the eyes of the interviewer. Your hand should be in a stable position. So your body language will speak a lot about you. Keep smiling face so as to welcome any question. I can understand that it's a very difficult for all of us, in fact, to keep smiling face to welcome any questions. But we have to keep the smiling face to welcome any question. Avoid any disagreement or please do not contradict with the interviewer. No need to go into a disagreement with the interviewer, or please do not contradict with the interviewer. We are not there to have a disagreement with them. Instead of that, we are there to get a job. Please use a very simple language which can be easily understood by all. Ashi language तुम्ही तुमच्या discussion मध्ये use करा which can be easily understood by the all. Interview should not criticize any other person, group or a nation. So students, if your nature is of a criticizing nature, those people, those panelists are very smart. They will see that this person is person's nature is of criticizing nature, so will not be accepted in our organization. So students, please do not criticize your institute. Please do not criticize your friends also. Please do not criticize your earlier employer also, or any other person or group or a nation also. Sometimes students, it happens that if you leave one organization within a 3 months or within a 6 months, and once you join the another organization, generally people criticize the earlier organization. This practice is a very bad practice. It is not at all expected. List the achievements with your evidence. एव्हिडन्स म्हणजे मी असं म्हणेन की सपोज तुम्हाला आता एखाद्या इंटर्नशिप केली एखाद्या ठिकाणी, तर तुम्हाला एखाद्या कंपनीने चांगलं सर्टिफिकेट दिलेलं आहे. And if you have mentioned in your CV that I have got a certificate from this organization regarding my internship, in that case we need to show them the proof also, of course, if it has been asked by the panelist. Don't be too familiar with the panelist. Too familiar म्हणजे मी असं म्हणेन की you will lose that professional approach in the entire interview process. Understood? I can say that on one hand, I can say that we need to keep the smiling face, but that doesn't mean that you need to be too familiar with the interview panelist. We need to maintain that professional approach. As far as interactions is concerned, body language is very important, as I said earlier. Now, how we can close the interview? We can ask them about a definite date of joining, date about your interviews. Sometimes we may not get selected, but don't be too discouraged at all, even though if you are not being selected or specific salaries discussed. Definitely in future good opportunities will come and you may get succeed, or you will succeed in that opportunities. Again, thank the interviewer for his or her valuable time and consideration for you, and we need to take the follow. So students, for example, तुमच्या आता कॉलेजमध्ये जर फर्स्ट राउंड ऑफ इंटरव्ह्यू झाला असेल, then again college authorities, college officials, professors have to take the follow for second interviews. See, for example, if you have appeared for the interview process on your own, then again for the second interview we have to take the follow-up. Now this follow-up can be a written communication or it can be a telephonic communication. Again, how we can appear for the second interview? आपण म्हणतो ना त्यांचा फर्स्ट इंटरव्ह्यू झालेला आहे, फर्स्ट राऊंड, सेकंड इंटरव्ह्यूला त्यांना कंपनीमध्ये बोलवलंय असं आपण कधी कधी म्हणतो. तर सेकंड इंटरव्ह्यू मध्ये काय टिप्स आहेत महत्वाच्या? Again, here we have to be very positive and we have to remember that we have already made a good impression with them. आलं लक्षात? But that doesn't mean that you have already got the job. Maintain that professionalism. आलं लक्षात? Be positive and remember already you have already made a good impression, but try to maintain that professionalism and don't assume that you have already got the job. Make your responses and questions as specific and detailed as possible. Student, second interview मध्ये we have to ask them or we have to discuss with them in detail about the job profile offered or job description offered. किंवा मी मगाशी म्हटलं तसं तुम्ही सेकंड इंटरव्ह्यू मध्ये तुम्ही त्यांच्याशी हे डिस्कस करा की वन्स आय सर जॉईन द ऑर्गनायझेशन, व्हॉट विल बी माय करियर पाथ, or how many years will it be required for me to achieve that particular positions. So thing is that we need to be very clear and we need to be very specific. You can also ask them that about, sir, once I get selected, what will be my joining location also, or what will be my joining date also. म्हणून मी मागं म्हणलं होतं बघा, माझ्या ह्याच्यामध्ये बोललो होतो की interview is not a one-way process. Don't hesitate to ask the questions. Interview is a two-way process, but our questions has to be very specific and in detail as far as possible. सेकंड इंटरव्ह्यू झाल्यानंतर आपण असं म्हणू शकत नाही, सर मला लोकेशन माहित नाहीये, मॅन्युफॅक्चरिंग लोकेशन, मला सॅलरी माहित नाहीये. These questions cannot be expected once your second interview is over. In the second interview itself, we'll have to clear our doubts and responses very carefully. Try to build a good rapport with the interviewer throughout the discussion. एका ठिकाणी काय म्हणतोय आपण, don't be too familiar. Don't be too familiar with the interview panelist. But on the other hand, we are also saying that try to build a good rapport with the interviewer throughout the discussion. Now let's look at some of the negative factors which may affect on your performance. So which are those factors? Of course, students, on one hand, what we have discussed is that we have to use the formal dress to appear for an interview. If your personal appearance is not at all good, you will lose that job opportunity. Sometimes some students have an aggressive or superiority complex. आपण एका ठिकाणी म्हणालो होतो ना की there has to be a thin line between confidence and arrogance, and that thin line has to be maintained. We need to be a confident person, but at any point of time we should not be aggressive, or we should not be under impression that we have a superiority on this particular subject or a knowledge. Definitely you will lose that job opportunity. So aggressive or superiority complex could be one of the reason which may affect on your interview performance. Answering the questions even before asked. Sometimes some students have a tendency to answer the question even before it is asked. Again, that shows a very bad practice. Inability to express thoughts. मी एका ठिकाणी तुम्हाला सांगितलं होतं की नाही, there might panelist will ask you some questions in which they wants to test your academic knowledge, or there might be some questions where they wants to test your thought process or thinking process. So don't answer those questions with simple yes or no. Instead of that, we need to express in it in a very elaborative manner. So those who are unable to express their thoughts, definitely they will not get selected. Lack of interest and enthusiasm. Students, I have seen many examples. Sometimes students appear for the interview just for the sake of experience of the interview. So students, please note that if you're really not interested in that particular profile or company, please don't appear for that interview process. So if there is a lack of interest and enthusiasm, definitely you will lose that job opportunity. Lack of courtesy could be one of the example. मी एका स्लाइड मध्ये म्हणलं होतं बघा, once your interview is over, get up and move out only after thanking the interview. Why we should thank the interview? Because they have considered our case and we got an opportunity to present our case. So we should thank the interviewers. Lack of knowledge about the company. This is one of the very strongest factor which will affect on your performance. If you are not knowing about the company details, त्यामुळे एक लक्षात ठेवा, तुम्ही ज्या कंपनीला अप्लाय करणार आहात त्या कंपनीचे डिटेल्स तुमच्याकडे माहिती असणं गरजेचं आहे. वन इज द कंपनी प्रोफाईल, त्यांचे प्रोडक्ट्स कुठले, त्यांचं मॅनेजमेंट विजन काय, त्यांचं मिशन स्टेटमेंट काय, कुठल्या कुठल्या ब्रांचेस आहेत त्यांच्या, which are the different locations where this company is having their manufacturing units. So students, these are the 6 to 7 negative factors which may affect on your interview performance. Let's look at some of the commonly asked interview questions. काय विचारतील ते तुम्हाला? What do you know about yourself? Here you can explain them about the skills and about your education also. They will also ask you about your strengths and weaknesses. मी मागे म्हणालो तसं. So please note that while presenting your strengths, try to present your strengths in a very humble manner, and you can present those weaknesses where chances of growth is there. So what are the common strengths we can tell these officials? That one is that you can say that, sir, I am a self-motivated person. I'm a good listener also. See, the thing is that sometimes students say that, sir, my communication skills are good. Oh, good. But what about your listening skills? If your communication skills are good, on the other hand, your listening skills also should be good. So these could be one of the strengths that you can tell these panelists that, sir, I'm a self-motivated person. I'm a good listener also. I follow strong ethical practices. And please be clear and precise while presenting your strengths, and try to present your strengths in a very humble manner. I am again repeating that word. Try to present it in a very humble manner. They will also ask you, ते तुम्हाला विचारतील, why we should hire you? आम्ही तुम्हाला का घ्यायचं कंपनीमध्ये, का सिलेक्ट करायचं? Where you can explain them about your skills and education. म्हणून माझ्या एका पहिल्या स्लाइड्स मध्ये होतं बघा. Engineering industry is a field of innovation and there are many examples through which we can say that this industry appreciates the real talent. But what is more important is that we need to concentrate on our skills. So apart from your academic technical knowledge, students, please note that we should develop our skills also, additional skills also. They will also ask you, why do you want this job? त्यांनी जर तुम्हाला असा प्रश्न विचारला की तुम्हाला नोकरी का हवी आहे, तर what will be the answer? Don't tell them that your company is good, your brand is big. Don't tell them that about that answer, because they are not interested in that answer. Instead of that, you can tell them that, sir, whatever profile that has been offered by you, profile म्हणजेच job description which has been offered by the company, that profile is really suited to me, and this is the company and this is the profile especially through which I can fulfill my short-term goals and I can fulfill my long-term goals also. They will also sometimes they will also ask you about how would you describe yourself. Then again, as I said, we need to speak it very logically and in very sequential manner, and try to tell them about your teamwork and leadership skills also. If they ask you about how long would you stay with the company, तुम्ही किती वर्ष आमच्या कंपनीमध्ये नोकरी कराल? If they ask you this question, you can tell them that, sir, there is no question of leaving the job as long as I grow professionally in this organization. There is no reason for me to make a move. Are you willing to relocate? See, for example, if you are selected for this one particular organization for this particular location, and in the interview process itself, if these panelists felt that you could be the ideal or suitable person for their manufacturing location, which has been at a different place or which has been at a different location, and if they ask you, sir, yes, now you are selected for this particular location, but I want you to be at my another location because your skills are good and you can develop our manpower also, or your skills can be utilized. So they will ask you, are you ready to relocate, willing to relocate? Our answer has to be yes. Sometimes the student says that no, sir, it would be very difficult for me to relocate at another place. In that case, you will lose your job opportunity because they are appreciating your performance. That's why they want to relocate you at another place. What do you feel your chances of getting succeeding in engineering industry? Here we need to develop our own self capabilities. You can tell them that, yes, sir, excellent, of course, because we have concentrated on our personal strengths. What questions do you have for me? If they ask you, तुम्ही त्यांनी जर तुम्हाला हा प्रश्न विचारला की तुम्हाला काही विचारायचंय का? As I said in the beginning of my slide only, that interview is not a one-way process, it's a two-way process. So don't lose this opportunity. Instead of that, you can prepare some questions earlier and ask some smart questions to these officials. Now, what are the challenges for freshers in the corporate world? Students, there are challenges also because we are entering in a very different world. Which are those challenges? One is that we have to accept the corporate culture with ease and targets. Why I am saying targets? It doesn't matter into which field you are, whether you might be in a teaching, whether you might be in a sales and management, sales and marketing, you might be in a production, quality control, R&D. You be into any field, you will see that targets are there. Because at an institute level or at the student's age, students, there are no targets. What I mean to say, the targets means to achieve something consistently. But once you join the industry, please note that we have to achieve the consistent results and we have to achieve the targets. Targets are everywhere. Time management, of course, We have to achieve those targets in a certain time frame. We have to accept the hard facts and learn to it very quickly. माझ्या स्लाइड मध्ये एका ठिकाणी होतं बघा, लर्निंग ॲटिट्यूड दॅट इज हँड, हेड अँड हार्ट. See, for example, if you are join one organization and after few days, some of your boss may tell you or may have asked you to develop some presentation skills. Yes, then your answer should be, don't take it in a criticized manner. Instead of that, take it in a very positive manner and you can learn it very quickly. Accepting the workplace culture and a feedback mechanism is very important. कारण काय माहिती का, स्टुडंट लाईफ मध्ये, स्टुडंट एज मध्ये there is no feedback mechanism. But once you join any production, for example, I can say that we need to report our higher authorities. We need to report in a very effective manner. So this feedback mechanism is very important, and this feedback mechanism is highly lacking in most of these organizations, and which may have a very bad impact on our performance. So accepting the workplace culture and feedback mechanism has to be followed. Using the right words. Try to develop the practice of using the right words. In your daily practices, you can use these words. Working as a team. Team skills are important. तुम्ही कुठल्याही ऑर्गनायझेशन मध्ये जॉईन व्हा, वेदर ती इंजिनिअरिंग इंडस्ट्री असू द्या किंवा आणखीन कुठल्या इंडस्ट्रीज असू द्या. What is more important is a team skills, and we have to lead the team with word passion. We have to lead the team with passion. So students, these are the challenges. One is the targets are there. These targets has to be achieved in certain time frame. We have to accept the hard facts also. We have to learn it very quickly also. We have to develop the feedback mechanism. Try to use the right words also. And try to develop your skills to work in a team. Students, can you see this picture? This is slide. Continuously, students, you can observe I am talking about attitude. We must have a proud of our own profession and the progress that we have made. If we have a proud of our own profession, we will change our attitude. Understood? Once you are into a right frame of mind or a right attitude, your results will be much better. Let's look at the magic of this slide, students. These are the letters A to Z. Below each letter, you will see that numbers are written 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 26 letters means 26 numbers are there. Understood? Students, continuously I am talking about changing the attitude. Let's look at the spelling of attitude. ATTITUDE. And if you look at the numbers, addition of numbers which are being written at the these letters, you will see that the total goes to 100. Understood? So students, if we change our attitude, everything will come in a very smooth manner or in a very positive manner. Let's look at the magic here. Here we have changed our attitude. Let's look at the total. The total went to 100. Let's look at this picture again. आता A च्या खाली बघा तुम्हाला 1 लिहिलेलं दिसेल, म्हणजे 01. T च्या खाली 20 लिहिले, कारण काय T च्या इथं 20 लिहिलेले. So if you look at this spelling, it goes to success. So students, what is required is a practice, practice and a practice. Look at the essential qualities needed. In brief, if we summarize our entire presentation. If you join any organization, तुम्ही कुठली organization join केली तर काय लागेल सुरुवातीला? You need to have a good health. You need to be physically fit and you need to be mentally fit also. Mentally मी fit का म्हणतोय तुम्हाला माहिती? Because targets are there. In industry, targets are there and we have to achieve the results. We have to achieve the targets consistently. This consistent word is very important. Second thing is that panelists will give preference to those people or they will promote those people who has got innovative skills. And students, being as an engineering students, you can understand the importance of the word innovation. You should have problem solving skills. Try to minimize the rejection. If you minimize their rejection, if you save their electricity or extra manpower, definitely it means that you are an innovative person. Definitely your chances of getting selected and chances of getting promoted are also much better. Willingness to learn, as I said earlier, learning attitude is very important. See, for example, तुम्ही एखाद्या कंपनीमध्ये इथं प्रोडक्शनला सिलेक्ट झालेला आहात. आज जी इथं टेक्नॉलॉजी यूज केलेली जाते, this technology might be replaced with some new technology in few months or few years. We need to learn it very quickly. So learning attitude is very important. Commitment and self-discipline. Commitment towards profession and toward job is required. And we cannot compromise on self-discipline. You can take an example of all the leaders from the industry world. You can say that why they are at the topmost positions, because of their self-discipline. Understood? Communication skills. As I said in the beginning, we need to develop the ability to communicate effectively. This communication might be a written communication or a oral communication. Understood? But please try to develop your communication skills also. Basic domain knowledge means तुमचं जे technical knowledge आहे, what you have studied throughout your 4 year of degree engineering course, you should have a command on your basic domain knowledge. डोक्यातून बिलकुल काढून टाका की इंटरव्ह्यू मध्ये आपल्याला खूप अवघड प्रश्न विचारले जातील. Instead of that, please keep in mind that in all those interviews, sorry, in most of these interviews, they will ask you only about the basics. So basic domain knowledge is important. And last but not the least, basic management skills. कुठली skills लागतील तुम्हाला? You should have a planning skills. Planning means what is to be done, how it is to be done, who is going to do it, why we are going to do it. म्हणजे planning skills गरजेचे. We should have a controlling skills also. Controlling means if there is any, if some process has to be changed or if some process has to be rectified, we should have that controlling skills also. At the same time, being as a graduate training engineer, we should have a decision making ability also. How you can improve your decision making ability? Students, please keep in mind that decision making ability will be developed with your experience and involvement. What is more important is involvement. म्हणून मी माझ्या एका स्लाइड मध्ये म्हटलं होतं बघा, 3H attitude, hand, head and heart. What is more important is involvement through heart. If there is experience and involvement, your decision making ability will be improved. And of course, we have to achieve these results in a certain time frame. So time management is important. So students, all these 7 skills are needed, not only to enter into a job, understand? Not only to enter into a job, but to progress in your further life also. These 7 skills are needed. Students, can you see a rainbow here? If you look at this picture, very interesting picture is this. This person is quite satisfied person. He is very happy person. Why he is happy? He is satisfied with his performance. And more than that, students, he is looking at the window. My request to all of you is that rainbow means 7 colors. As we all know that in rainbow, we can find the 7 colors. 7 colors means, students, 7 qualities. These all 7 qualities means all 7 colors. Understood? So all these 7 qualities which are needed, you can accept it as that, as a rainbow. If these 7 qualities are there, definitely you will get selected and you will be the happiest person. The students, are we going to remain on that same position? एक लक्षात घ्या, ह्या 7 क्वालिटीज मुळे तुमचं सिलेक्शन झालेलं आहे इंडस्ट्रीमध्ये, आलं लक्षात? पण आपण त्याच पोझिशन वरती तिथंच राहणार आहोत का बरेच दिवस? तिथंच म्हणजे त्याच पोझिशन्स वरती राहणार आहोत का? नो, वी हॅव डिसाइडेड टू प्रोग्रेस इन आवर लाईफ. We have decided to get promotions very fast in our life. So what is needed? We have to introspect ourselves. Introspect means we have to find out which are those areas where my performance is not up to the mark. Students, can you see one more rainbow is here? हे बघा, इथे एक रेनबो आहे. इकडून परत या बाजूला पण तुम्हाला दिसेल. Can you see one more rainbow is there? So students, these 7 qualities means because of which we have got the job. But are we going to remain on that position for a long time? No. We have decided to progress in our life. So students, if you introspect yourself and if you find out that these 7 qualities are already there within you, म्हणजे तुमच्याकडे या 7 क्वालिटीज आहेत ज्याच्यामुळे तुमचं सिलेक्शन झालंय. पण या वरच्या सुद्धा ज्या 7 क्वालिटीज आहेत, द रेनबो विच इज स्लाइटली डिसअपिअरिंग, if you find out these 7 qualities, if you introspect your 7 qualities, म्हणजे मी असं म्हणेन की याच्यामुळे आपलं सिलेक्शन झालंय, या 7 क्वालिटीज ऑलरेडी तुमच्याकडे आहेत. पण या सुद्धा 7 क्वालिटीज तुमच्याकडे आहेत, लक्षात घ्या. These 7 additional qualities are also with you, but we have never looked on those 7 qualities. So students, if there is a combination of these 7 qualities plus these 7 qualities, what will be the result? Your promotion, or you will achieve the position in a very short span in your life. You will reach at a very good position. See, for example, as a general manager of the company, or as a head of the department for that organization in a very short span. So students, I'm sure that you will remember this picture. So thanks and best wishes to all of you. Before I conclude my presentation, there are some parts where I need to focus it on again in a very short span. One is that these are the initial objectives that company wants to progress. They will give preference to those people who can lead the team with passion, no compromise on self-discipline. We need to communicate effectively. We should have a 3H attitude. Then we must be job ready, try to develop your skills, take the right career decision right from the start only. Don't lose your time. What will be your preference? Your preference should be towards a job role. Job role, job profile किंवा job description clear वाचा. कुठल्याही इंटरव्ह्यूला जाण्याच्या आधी इन्फॉर्मेशन अबाउट, फाइंड आउट द इन्फॉर्मेशन अबाउट दॅट कंपनी. डिटेल असली पाहिजे तुमच्याकडे, कंपनीचे प्रोडक्ट्स कुठले आहेत, ब्रांचेस कुठले आहेत. त्याच्यानंतर जे कॉमनली असे इंटरव्ह्यू क्वेश्चन्स आहेत मगाशी म्हणलं तसं, ट्राय टू प्रिपेअर फॉर दोज क्वेश्चन्स. ट्राय टू प्रेझेंट युअर स्ट्रेंथ्स इन अ व्हेरी हंबल मॅनर and present those weaknesses where chances of growth is there. Don't hesitate to ask the questions because interview is a two-way process. Connect your skills with the company needs. तुम्ही तुमच्या अचिव्हमेंट्स बाबत बोला इंटरव्ह्यू मध्ये, तुम्ही तुमच्या अकम्प्लिशमेंट्स बाबत बोला, 1-2 वाक्य बोला. जी बायोडाटा मध्ये इन्फॉर्मेशन देणार आहात, दॅट इन्फॉर्मेशन हॅज टू बी अन ऑथेंटिक इन्फॉर्मेशन. अँड स्टुडंट्स, व्हॉट इज मोर इम्पॉर्टंट is that you should have a proud of your own profession first. Then automatically you will enter into a right frame of mind. And once you are into a right frame of mind, your chances of getting selected are more. हे तुम्हाला चेंजेस दिसतील. फाइंड आउट द करेक्ट लोकेशन विथ लँडमार्क. फॉर्मल ड्रेस यूज करा, पेन कॅरी करा इंटरव्ह्यूला जाताना. युअर अप्रोच हॅज टू बी अ कूल, काम अँड कॉन्फिडंट अप्रोच. greet the interviewers, look at your watch. First impression is the last impression, please note that. Say thank you before being seated. You should sit straight, look at the eyes of interviewer while answering the question. This picture, I'm sure that you will remember it for lifelong. Poor interview technique. Look at the way by which he has rested his hands on the shoulder and he has got a overconfident attitude. He is too relaxed and he is very casual about his career. But look at this person. He is looking at the eyes of the interviewer. His approach is a professional approach. He is very positive and a confident. And look at his hands also. His hands are in a very stable position. Answer the questions, listen the questions very carefully. Give short answers. Don't show any arrogance. Please speak clearly and loudly. For rejecting any answers, you can say sorry to the interviewers. Don't give any additional information. इंटरॅक्शन्स मध्ये मी म्हणलं तसं बॉडी लँग्वेज इम्पॉर्टंट आहे. avoid any disagreement or don't contradict with the panelist. Use very simple language and don't be too familiar with the interviewers. Otherwise, you will lose that professional approach. फॉलोअप घ्यायचा आहे आपल्याला सेकंड इंटरव्ह्यूला. सेकंड इंटरव्ह्यूला आपल्याला जाताना आपण एक लक्षात ठेवलं पाहिजे की वी हॅव ऑलरेडी मेड ए गुड इम्प्रेशन विथ द पॅनलिस्ट, बट दॅट डझंट मीन दॅट यू आर बिंग सिलेक्टेड, यू हॅव सिलेक्टेड. Try to maintain that professional approach. This is the step where you can clear your doubts and queries. So that's why I'm saying that make your responses and your questions very specific and try to build a good rapport with the panelist. Negative factors. Students, my request to all of you is that don't look at these negative factors, because we are the persons, we are being as an engineering professionals, we always look at the positive part. But just for your reference, you can look at these factors: poor personal appearance, superiority complex, inability to express thoughts, lack of interest, lack of courtesy, and lastly, last but not the least, lack of knowledge about the company is very dangerous factors. So we must have an information about the company for which we are appearing for the interview. Commonly asked interview questions, Baba आपण बोललोच, no need to describe or discuss it in again. ही challenges असू शकतील. कुठली? One is that targets will be there. We have to achieve those targets in certain time frame. We have to accept the hard facts also. Hard facts म्हणजे काय? Don't take it in a very criticizing manner. Take it in a very positive way. जर एखाद्या सिनियर्सनी तुम्हाला सांगितलं की तुम्ही डिझाईन स्किल्स थोडे इम्प्रूव्ह करा किंवा तुमचं प्रेझेंटेशन इम्प्रूव्ह करा, वी हॅव टू ऍक्सेप्ट इट इन व्हेरी पॉझिटिव्ह मॅनर. फीडबॅक मेकॅनिझम आपल्याला डेव्हलप करता आलं पाहिजे. आय कॅन से दॅट नॉट ओनली इन द कॉर्पोरेट कल्चर बट इन युअर रेग्युलर अकॅडमिक लाईफ ऑल्सो ट्राय टू डेव्हलप युअर फीडबॅक मेकॅनिझम. जसं आपल्याला एखाद्या प्रोफेसर्सने एचओडीनी सांगितलं असेल की हा एक्सपेरिमेंट तुम्ही कम्प्लीट करा किंवा तुम्ही मला याचे रिझल्ट दाखवा. ठीक आहे, रिझल्ट येतील न येतील तो पुढचा भाग आहे, बट ऍटलीस्ट यू शुड गिव्ह द फीडबॅक टू युअर अथॉरिटीज ऑल्सो. वर्किंग इन अ टीम इज व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट. हे पिक्चर तर हे स्लाइड तर तुमच्या नक्की लक्षात राहील, बिकॉज वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द चेंजिंग इन ॲटिट्यूड. इफ वी चेंज आवर ॲटिट्यूड, इफ वी आर इन टू अ पॉझिटिव्ह ॲटिट्यूड, we will start believing in our own self capabilities. Once you start believing in your self capabilities, you will enter into a right frame of mind. म्हणून मी म्हणेन तुम्ही ॲटिट्यूड जर चेंज केला, लुक ॲट द स्पेलिंग ऑफ ॲटिट्यूड अँड लुक ॲट द नंबर्स, टोटल गोज टू 100. सक्सेस. These 7 qualities: good health, innovative, willingness to learn, commitment, communication skills, basic domain knowledge. हा वर्ड फार महत्वाचा आहे, basic domain knowledge. So my request to all the students, those who are into 4th year, is that try to see your notes right from the first year, because these notes are going to help you a lot. And those who are into beginning of their career, please note that get your basics very clear, because in interviews, nobody asks you very difficult questions. They will ask you very simple, basic questions. Apart from that, students, what is needed is basic management skills. This picture, you will also remember it for a long time. 7 skills means 7 qualities because of which we have entered into the corporate world. But are we going to remain on that position for a long time? No, we have decided to progress in our life. So look at this rainbow also. One more rainbow is there. म्हणजे या 7 क्वालिटीज तुमच्यामध्ये आहेत, प्लस या पण 7 क्वालिटीज तुमच्यामध्ये आहेत, लक्षात घ्या. If you darken these 7 qualities, या रेनबो सारखा आपल्याला हा पण रेनबो डार्क करायचा आहे की नाही, तर 7 + 7, 14 qualities. Who will stop your progress? No one can stop your progress. Introspection, this is what is needed. Thanks to all. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. This is a very informative session.
Thank you very much.
So, any questions or queries from the students, please raise the hand so that Deepak sir will unmute you and you can directly ask the question to Prasad sir. From the participants, if there is any question, please place in the chat box or just raise the hand. So Deepak sir will unmute you and you can directly ask the question to Prasad sir.
No problem, sir. No problem, no problem. I can understand, no problem.
Okay, sir. Around
2 hours we have.
100 participants are on the Zoom meeting, and around
Oh,
45 or 50 participants on YouTube. So around 150 students are benefited with your informative sessions. So
thank you, thank you. It's because
so-
of you and Dr. Patil, sir.
yeah. Patil sir is there.
Yes, I am there.
Yeah, sir. Sir, before
Yeah.
going to vote of thanks,
Prasad sir.
just I request Dr. S.P. Patil sir for few words.
Please.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
It was wonderful and very informative session. I have completely attended it.
Oh.
And I am sure that my students are definitely benefited. They will take positive attitude while appearing for the interview. Thank you very much. It was very nice.
Thank you very much. So before I end this presentation, I am very much thankful to all the authorities of Karmayogi Engineering College, Dr. Patil sir also, for giving me a positive note right from the day one regarding organizing this session. I am very much thankful to Dr. Mudgeri sir for giving me this wonderful opportunity to interact with the students. Students, please keep in mind that I am also from this area only, from your place only. But the thing is that I tried lot to develop my career. I always tried to give my preference to my books only. I always tried to interact with my HODs only, senior professors only, principals or only during my academic career, and even as on today also, because every day is a learning experience for all of us. And if you are open with your communication, nobody can stop your progress. And please keep in mind that rainbow. Those 7 qualities you will enter into a corporate world. But again, we have to introspect ourselves and find out those 7 inner qualities. Those 7 inner qualities are also with you. Nobody can stop your progress and you will achieve many more heights in your life. And please don't be under impression that की recession आहे हे आहे. काय माहितीये का? Recession त्या लोकांच्या करता आहे की those who do not have any skills, those who can develop the skills, those who are into their early of their career. Please try to learn some additional languages, try to develop your skills apart from your academic content. Your chances of getting selected will be very higher. So thank you very much to all of you once again. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Before vote of thanks, all participants and teachers are requested to turn off their videos so that we can snap one shot of this virtual meeting. All the participants, start your video now. Be fast. Within few seconds, we have to snap the shot. All the participants and teachers who are joining this Zoom meeting are requested to start their videos. Deepak sir, just take a snapshot. Is it over, sir?
Sir, there is a problem from my side. You can take it.
Just a minute. Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, I have one.
So okay. Now I request Mr. Deepak Bhosale sir to vote of thanks.
Thank you, Mudegaonkar sir. Good afternoon. Still, it's good morning. Just 2 minutes for the afternoon. Before going for the vote of thanks, I want to share some one word or some sentence of the Walt Disney related to this webinar, that all our dreams can come true if you have the courage to pursue them. So I, on behalf of the IQAC CEC department and entire family of Karmayogi, and also my own behalf, a very heartily thanks to today's speaker Prasad Bhagwat sir on the topic that is campus to the corporate. In excellent way, he shared his views. I assure you, sir, that new aspirants from my college or maybe another colleges who have joined on the YouTube may they clear their doubts to how to face the interview very effectively. I heartily thanks to the trustee of Sri Pandurang Pratishthan, Rohan Paricharak Malak, for their motivation to organize such events. I also extend my thanks to Principal Dr. S.P. Patil sir for their enormous cooperation in the organization this webinar. Last, I want to extend the thanks to all my dear students and the faculty colleagues who making this webinar more effective with their presence on the Zoom meeting, and also so many people are joining on the YouTube streaming video. So thank you each and everyone, and all the team members of the Karmayogi. I concluded here that this webinar is completed here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye.
So I will end